Artel, are you already on? Hey, Martel, are you there?
Hello?
Hey, Martel, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm at the gym, so I'll probably be off video.
Yeah,
Um,
no, that's fine. You can just listen in.
okay. I don't know why I can't get my headphones to work. Hello, hello.
They're not connecting.
Yeah, my headphones aren't connected.
If you're on your phone, they should be able to connect to your Bluetooth.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, it's good. I got you now.
Got me? All right.
Yeah, I'm excited for you, man. I'm excited for me.
Yes, you'll learn something today for sure.
I know I
I'll
will.
send. I'm gonna send everybody that jumps on the recording, but yeah, you'll get a lot in for sure.
Okay. Glad to see you take it to the next level.
There's no other choice, my friend.
No other choice.
Yeah.
No other choice. That is right. Pirates were almost at zero today.
Excellent. I love it.
Yeah. I'm walking on water.
Okay, you just gotta do the work.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do the work. I get to do the work. I saw King Arthur, The Legend of the Sword today. That was a really deep movie.
The what? Sorry.
King Arthur, The Legend of the Sword.
Oh,
You know,
it's a movie
yeah, it's a movie like the king dies and his son gets sent away, and it's a sword that's stuck in a rock.
in The Rock. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Is that a good one? I haven't seen it.
It could have been better, but I enjoyed it because it spoke a lot. I don't know why I wanted to watch that movie, but I watched it today. It spoke a lot to about what I'm going through.
For sure.
It's a hero's journey movie, you know.
Absolutely. We'll just wait. Yeah, it just got 7 right now. So let's see.
Okay. I didn't do my workout yesterday, so I have to get it done today.
For sure, bro. Yeah, you don't want to get it to 2 days in a row, right?
Uh, I didn't want to miss yesterday, but I was just tired. I needed some rest. No music?
There's supposed to be music.
Yeah.
I don't even know actually. Uh, does Zoom do
I,
that? Good
I'll
idea.
just put I'll put that in the suggestion box.
All right, for sure. Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Mr. Pelici.
Good evening. I finally found it. It took me a minute. I had to look up Zoom. I was looking up everything, and finally I found it. It was kind
Yeah,
of hidden, but I got it.
the email says Zoom on it, and then it has the name of the event, so it wouldn't be coming like from my name or anything. That's maybe sometimes throws people off.
Yeah, but I finally got it. I was like, thank goodness.
Beautiful. Joseph, have you met Martel? Martel, this is
Uh,
Joseph. He's in Man on Fire as well.
yeah, I didn't meet him officially, but I've seen him on the calls. Hello, brother.
You guys need to connect. Um, well, there's nobody else on this call yet, but Martel's going through it, and I know Joseph's been there, so I think you guys would be really good to connect with. But we'll leave that for another day. But at least you
Okay.
guys got to meet each other. Joseph's awesome. He's he amazing. His one issue is tries to do too much. He knows this.
I
That's
think
absolutely true.
I think Dan Fox brought him up on our court call
Yeah,
for
yeah.
me to reach out to.
He used to be one of our core coaches, Joseph.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you cut it down though, Joseph, right?
Now I am just leading. I have my regular one, and I'm leading the 75 hard,
Perfect.
finishing it up, closing it out, and then I'm doing I have my regular group that I work with, the Foxtrot 5. I run that court, and then Joseph Enzyme asked me to run the 21 MOF.
Okay. Well, it's already 5 past, so we're just gonna get going. I don't know if people didn't get in. We had like 16, 17 registered, so we'll see if maybe they didn't get the link or it's in their email. We're digging through. but it's part of the process. So welcome you guys to my webinar, my 9-step coaching blueprint. As you guys know, my name is Gert Butar. I'm a digital marketer. Um, I've had about 4.5, 5 years of experience in the online space, from Facebook ads to e-commerce to Amazon FBA to digital products, print on demand, different types of funnels, affiliate marketing. And then once I got into affiliate marketing, that's when I started to learn how to actually make some money. And from that, evolved with Google ads and Facebook ads. And, both of you guys are wanting to get in the coaching space. And so this is perfect and you know what, if it's just the three of us, that's fine with me. Well, you know what? Since it's just the three of you guys, so why don't you just quickly introduce yourselves and why you want to get into the coaching space and what you want to kind of do exactly. Martel, you want to go first, if you're able?
Yeah, I can go first. My name is Martel Haskins. Been in Man on Fire in and out maybe for the last 2.5 years. The reason why I want to get into the coaching space, in 2019, when I first went to Man on Fire Live, it was just a game changer in my life. And it's still a game changer, the things that I'm learning. And I noticed the moment where maybe it was day 3 or something, where I just had so much clarity in my mind and in my energy and in my spirit. It really felt on my spirit that a part of the purpose I'm here for is to serve people, and specifically to help serve people from my community, the Black or African American community, whatever you want to call it, because I see the rates of divorce in our community, um, along with a lot of other detrimental things. And I know if people had something like Man on Fire, or had access to that level of vulnerability, that level of support, the level of accountability, the information that's not given to us by the culture, just the changes that can make in people's lives, and not just their lives, the kids' lives. And I just truly feel a calling to do my part and help as many people as possible. And the universe backs that up, because people come to me all the time, and usually the situation comes up to where I know what they need to know.
Yeah.
So I just want to take my experience, my testimony, and serve people and help other people who went through what I went through. And one thing I'll say about Man on Fire, I love it to death, but it's not a lot of people who look like me in it. And I understand why. And that's why I just want to begin doing it, just to affect more people who come from where I come from.
Beautiful. Awesome. And I think that's part of it too, is like our motivation is like for coaching is, our best and ideal client is basically who we were, let's say 6 months ago or a year ago or 2 years ago, right? And where we were going through and how we were able to make that shift, whether it was Man on Fire or another event, or something else tragic happening in our lives to kind of wake us up. And so Joseph, just quickly introduce yourself and then we'll kind of get into it.
Okay. So I was a Man on Fire for almost 2.5 years now. And I have very similar to Martel. I going into, waking up and having that first table session and just seeing like in my life, I feel like I'm being called to awaken people. And I'm from Stamford, Connecticut, and where I grew up is in the projects. So my real feeling is like I want to be able to help people who can afford it, but be like a kind of Robin Hood and be able to awaken people who don't even have a knowing that there's something else out there. Just I have a lot of empathy and compassion, because even for myself, I went through uh, prison, and most of my friends have been killed or drug addictions because of the area. So I want other people to be able to experience what I've experienced and to see what I've seen, and I want that would, for me, it gives me like stage 11, like giving and receiving. So that's like where I'm at. That's exactly what I've always wanted to be when I learned it, and that's what I want to do. I want to be able to awaken people.
Well, you know what? We'll just announce it that this is the start of that journey. Okay. Um, I think another part of it for me also is like seeing guys like, yourself and other people that have tremendous amount of experience and knowledge. And I realize that if I'm able to help them, then I know I'm going to be able to help the people that they help, right? And it just, everybody wins. So that's a really big motivator for me. And a lot of people have tremendous gifts and knowledge and can help impact people's lives, but this online space is, it's difficult, it's challenging, it's new, and it requires a certain set of skills. And so, what I want to do is help you guys kind of break down all the info and all the BS that you get, and we'll just get it to the core steps that you need. Like every online business that you see out there has these steps in place. Like other ones that are bigger, they might have more on top, like ads and webinars and all the other stuff, but every business online has these steps in place. So this is what I want to give you guys so you can use them as the building blocks. Okay. So I'm just gonna share my screen. Okay, so in terms of the, a coaching blueprint, this is for consultants as well, small business owners, but specifically with coaching, is you want to break it down, in 3 phases. Now, the first phase is the foundation of what you need. Is like, okay, so what is the outcome or the result that I want to give this person? You know what I mean? For me, I want to be able to help people build a profitable business, right? That's my result. That's the outcome. That's why they're paying me, right? I want to pay you as a coach so you can help me make money, right? And so, for you guys, I want you guys to think about, okay, what's the result that I want to give, and try to be as specific as you want, as you can be. Because like when you want to differentiate yourself, if you're too broad and too general, then you just kind of get lost amongst the crowd. So if you're very specific, then you're gonna tap into a very specific niche. Now, can you build on that afterwards? Yes, but you got to establish it with a very narrow and focused niche. That makes sense, guys? And if you guys want,
Yes.
yeah, if you guys want to ask questions, in between, just type into the chat, and I'll answer them as I go. So yeah, so first is like thinking about, okay, what's the outcome? What's the result that I'm trying to give this person? Why are they paying me, right? So, and then the next part is, okay, the customer avatar. Who exactly, like what I was saying, like who is the person that I was 6 months ago or a year ago? What are these questions? What are the pain points? You know what I mean? Because you got to look at it when you're presenting content. You got to be tapping into somebody's psyche and saying, when they're looking and seeing your content, be like, wow, that guy's reading my mind. He understands me, right? The exact question that I'm dealing with, he's giving me the answer to. So like think about it in reverse. When we're on Google or we're on YouTube or we're on Facebook and we're scrolling through, and let's say we have a query or a question that's been unanswered for us, and all of a sudden your guys' content pops up, answers that question. Okay, I want to know who this guy is, right? So that's the first thing. You got to try to capture them with those pain points, those questions. And I'm gonna break down each one of these into more depth, but I'm gonna give you an overview. So those are the main things you want to think about when we're talking about the customer profile, the avatar. Those big questions like, what is your ideal client? What's he doing? What's he doing at like 3 a.m. in the morning that's causing him to wake up and asking, like, how the hell do I so and so, right? And then try to fill that in. That makes sense, guys?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I wouldn't say, I would say a story, but like try to base it kind of off of who you are and what your transition is, right? Because you want to, when we're giving content, you want to also think about where you are in terms of this client. So if you guys are fairly new, you and Joseph and Martel are going to be, you want to be at the trust building stage. Okay, so those are like making the content relatable, the person understands me, right? And then the next layer will be like, okay, I've established what this guy's saying. He's given me some trust. The next piece of content is going to be that much, something with a little bit more specifics, like a how-to, or this is the 3 tips you can do for this, right? And then and then they continue. So it's like they don't know you, they like you. And then the third one is like, okay, they're hot leads, they want to buy. Okay, so that third one is going to be all their objections. Okay, for me, it's always money, I don't have time. You know what I mean? I don't know if I can learn all this. The information is there's too much technology. If I answer those objections, especially in my content, it's going to make my sales call or my strategy session, whatever you want to call it, that much easier. That makes sense, Joseph? You can unmute it if you want.
So what you're doing is you're clarifying all of their doubts.
Exactly, and that's what you want to do with your content. So I'll go through this more in depth, but like, let's say you're putting out a piece of content, and like the first 2-3 seconds, that's going to be the hook. So that'll be like the question that they're thinking of. Are you having trouble getting leads online? You know what I mean? And here's 3 steps you can do, 3 steps you can use to get more leads. A, B, C. And then the third part is going to be the call to action. Click the link in my bio, join my webinar, join my Facebook group, DM me, check the link in the DMs. Like, you got to direct them, right? So every piece of content is going to have those 3, like the hook, and then the problem resolution part, and then the call to action. If you don't do a call to action, they're not going to do anything. Like even me, like I made a mistake, like everybody join the webinar. I forgot to say register. And Joseph reminded me, to be honest, like I should have said register for the webinar, because people just thought that if they go to the link that they get into the webinar. And that was my mistake. And that's, learn, we live and learn. And next month when I do the new one,
now
go ahead.
A call to action would be like what?
So a call to action would be, if you like the content, like, share, follow. If you're looking for more support, DM me and we can book a call. If you're looking for more content like this, join my Facebook community. So you're directing them. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah, what you're doing is you're kind of funneling them in.
Exactly. Right. And sometimes,
okay,
content is, usually to educate or encourage them, but it could be entertaining. Like, I try to make people laugh as I can, right? Because, you want to try to enjoy this ride we're on. And, if you like that, you found it funny, like, share, and follow. It could be that, it could just be something like that, right? Because here's the other thing. You don't always want to be pitching, right? Like you don't want to be always trying to sell your service or product in every piece of content. If that happens, then you're not really trying to establish any trust and it comes off as salesy. You know what I'm saying?
So would that mean that like parts of what you do might just be for free information?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Why do you think I'm doing this webinar?
Yeah.
I'm trying to establish trust. And I'm going to post this on my Facebook group after, right?
Okay.
People can see it and get it for free. At the end of the day, people think that, oh, we give up too much information. What are they going to do with the coaching? Guys, I show you this 9-step blueprint and I'm going to go through it with you over the next 45 minutes, an hour. Do you guys think you could still implement it? No, you need a coach.
No, you need accountability. You need accountability.
Exactly.
And
that's the main thing that people don't understand is like, I can give you all the information, but are you going to implement it? When the shit gets hard, where are you going to go? Like Joseph, for example, Maria, right? Maria, who you introduced me to, like she's had ups and downs, but she's awesome. And I know her content.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's gonna help so many people. I just gotta keep supporting her. And who cares if it takes longer? I'd rather be on the journey of it taking longer than her giving up.
Yeah, and that has mostly to do about her doubts of herself because I help her. I've been helping her with that.
I know that, right? So that's why.
Yeah.
Right. And you guys are part of this. You guys got to learn the patience. How patient is David?
Oh, forget about it. He's very patient.
Exactly. Because you know why? He's been there.
He knows it.
He knows.
That was the first thing I ever noticed about David at Man on Fire Live. I remember standing there thinking, man, how long is he going to listen to this guy talk for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so all right, so the first thing is what is the outcome? What is the result that I'm trying to give this person? Okay, and then tap into the pain points, the questions, right? I'm gonna go through other questions for you guys as well. And then now it's like, okay, when I've established my avatar and the outcome, now I want to give like my main message, like my kind of headline core message that I'm going to present to everybody. So the way in which you do that is I help X achieve Y without B so they can C. So let me give you an example. I help coaches, consultants, and business owners build a profitable business with consistent 10K plus months in 8 weeks or less without ads, information overwhelm, and wasting and tech overwhelm. So that's my main message, right? It's long and drawn out, but it encompasses everything. It gives me the avatar, it gives me the timeline, it gives me, it gives me the result I'm trying to give them. It gives me the stress that I relieve them of, right? A lot of people come into me like, we spend all this money on Facebook ads. And I'm like, well, why are you spending money on ads when you don't even know what your message is? Right? So, so you want to establish that. So, in your guys' space, more of a, we can say life coach, performance coach, mindset, it can be anyone. You can be a health coach, you know what I mean? But your messaging has to be very specific. Okay, the result I'm going to achieve? How long can I do it in? They want to have a timeline, whether it's 90-day program or 12-week or 8-week, or it could be some of them are like, kind of like Man on Fire, where it's like ongoing. So you don't have to have a timeline on long, but they got to be very specific. Okay, so when you guys think about, like, you're gonna get this video anyway, but when you guys get to the point of crafting out your message, try to figure that out. I help X achieve Y without C so they can B. Okay, so the result, the avatar, what I'm going to help them get rid of, and then what is that going to lead them to? Because ultimately, I want to make coaches and consultants successful. For what reason? So they can have freedom, so they can, live the life that they want. So maybe they can do other things, so they can live their passion, right? Like Joseph, you're transitioning into 2 businesses, really, right? Right, and
Yes.
you're doing one to relieve you of, the restaurant, and then the skills and the knowledge and the freedom of time you can obtain from the meal delivery, you can translate that into your coaching, right? So
Yes.
your journey is going to be you're going to have a lot of info for people. Okay, so that's what you want to do when thinking about your message. And then now, once you've established that foundation, that phase 1, you cannot skip that, or else nobody will know who you are and what you do, and you'll be talking to the wrong audience. Okay, so that has to, do not skip that. That's the biggest foundational piece. It's like us skipping doing stages 1 to 4. It's the same thing. Okay. Now, when we get into content, right, we want to tap into those questions, like I kind of said, how I structured it. Like, you want to have the hook, right? You want to have the problem resolution, and then the end, you want to have the call to action, right? And then you also got to think about it in terms of, I'm going to show you on the sheet more, but there's content, and then there's also kind of lead magnets. So you give people like these freebie pieces of information, right? Like, what is Man on Fire? Is the manifesto? Is that, I think that's something that they give out, right? So they give out the
Yes.
manifesto, and then you guys sign up with your email and your phone number. I think your phone number, I can't remember, but that's what you want to start doing. Like, once you're starting to, because people don't just want to see you talk, they want to see it. Like, you got to put like graphics, you got to put pieces of content together, whether it be PDFs or documents or audio or video, where they see your message, right? We're very visual. So a lead magnet, you wanna build it in such a way that it's really enticing for someone, that they're gonna they'll want that piece of information. So let's say, here's the 5 best ways, or here's the 5 tips that you can use to get through your divorce, let's say, right? Or it's, if you're unable to stick to your diet plan, or if you're unable to stick to your exercise regimen, here's 5 ways from shifting and increasing your discipline. People, if you're have the right message and you're tapping into the right target audience, people are going to reach out, and then you're going to get their phone number, their email, and sometimes they start a conversation. They're like, hey, I got your document, it was really helpful, thank you. And then that conversation builds a relationship, and that person can be a client. I'll get more into the conversations in a bit, but that's how you want to trigger it. Like, I call it the 5 C's. You create content and conversations to convert into clients. The 5 C's. Okay, but the main things is content and conversations. You need those to build a business online, 100%, especially high ticket, especially coaching, right? If it's a product-based business, maybe not so much. You're probably relying on your advertising and copy. But when we're talking about this, a service-based business where it's one-to-one and people gotta establish trust, and they're paying, at least over $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, that's, you cannot do that just with a website and a funnel. That has to have conversation. They have to look at you face to face. Okay. So, and then the next piece is building out your Facebook group. The Facebook group is kind of like a container for your content. So when you start having these people that start liking your content and commenting, and they start building a rapport with you, you get them into your Facebook group, and you're going to continually feed that content into them. You're going to give them little freebie offers. Hey, here's my template on how to do this. I just wrote a new PDF. Hey guys, you guys got to watch my free training on consciousness exercises or breathing or meditation. Or yo, I just did this awesome 15-minute meditation. I'm gonna give it whoever wants it, but they got to give you something back. It's reciprocal, right? Right. And then that's how you're going to build your email list. That's how you're going to build a phone list, right? And then that's how you're going to get people into your Facebook group. Your Facebook group is going to be the key source of clients for you, because they're either really. I wonder why this is doing that. Sorry, it's kind of distracting. In terms of the clients, they're going to be warm leads or they're going to be hot leads. Some people, they're going to talk to you and be like, you know what, I love your content, I love what you're talking about, I trust you, let's do this. Most people are going to be like, I really like your stuff, but I need more time, I need to build more trust with you, right? And that's where you feed them into your Facebook group, because in the Facebook group you control the content that they're going to see, right? It's like an email list, right? Everybody that's in the online space says your email list is your business. Why do they say that? They say that because if I have an email list, I still have a business. Because one day, let's say Facebook shuts down my account, Instagram's gone, Facebook's gone, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. Okay, what do I do now? Well, I still have my email list, so I can still tap into potential clients that way, right? Your Facebook group's kind of the same way, because it's an area where you can control the content that they see. If they're what they do is you get them into the Facebook group, you get them to click their notifications. Anytime you put a new piece of content, they're going to see it. All right. Anytime you run a contest, they're going to see it. Anytime you have a new challenge, anytime you have a new freebie information, hey, my new 10-minute video on this, you guys got to check it out. They're going to see it. And that's going to build that rapport, and that's going to build that trust. And that's what's eventually going to get you them as a client. Make sense? So
Yes.
it's really important to build your email list and build your Facebook group. And
you're just kind of building relationships with the people to turn them into hot leads.
Relationships is everything, Joseph.
Yes.
Like, people talk about this as sales. You're building relationships.
Yeah, that's through the restaurant business. It's all about relationships.
I'm not selling you nothing. I don't need to. I don't need to convince you. I'm trying to help you. And do you believe that I can help you? That's what they're trying to figure out.
Now, when you're doing something like that, and you're in in your Facebook group, is like the Facebook group. I get it that you'll talk to them through comments, but
Yeah.
Besides that, like if you're to run like a Facebook Live or something like that, would that be something that you'd only do like once a month or once a week, or how would that work?
You know what? You can do a Facebook Live as many as you want, right? It's really the amount of output is going to be direct correlation in terms of the amount of leads you get, right?
Okay.
Right. The only way that I'm able to put out the amount of content that I have now is because I have a VA, a virtual assistant, and both of you guys eventually are going to have a virtual assistant. David has a virtual assistant. Rosalind, you guys know her. You know what I mean? And they're the ones that are going to be putting out the content for you. So, because guess what? This video that you see, you're going to see on Facebook. You're going to see in my Instagram, in my Reels, on YouTube Shorts, in my email. And so then you're constantly seeing me in all these areas, right? So people aren't forgetting about you. You know, like Gary Vee's everywhere, right? We see him all over the place. But guess what? He stacks his content. He's not out there putting out content as it is. He stacks like 2, 3, 4 days piece of content, and then for the next week he doesn't have to do anything. But in that 2, 3, 4
He
days,
probably,
yeah, go
he
ahead.
probably does all. He could do all his videos in one day basically, and then have them just be putting
Exactly.
them out each day.
One day of content can be like 30 pieces because he has the videographers and the editors, and they can quickly make it and put it out, right?
Yes.
What he does is like he repurposes it, right? Like say if I make a video, I can transcribe that and turn that into a long form article, or the other way around. I could turn that long form article into a video, right? You got to be efficient with your time, because some people like reading, some people like the videos, some people like different things, right? So you guys, like, basically I put out a written post, a video post, and like a question or a poll every day, right? And I'm putting it out on my profile, I'm putting it out on my Facebook page, I'm putting it out on my group, and I'm putting it out in the community groups and LinkedIn and Instagram and TikTok. But it's one video. You know what I mean? But I repurpose it in all those different platforms. Okay. That's the initial push. That's how the cycle begins. That's how the momentum begins. So you put out content, you get feedback, you start having conversations, those conversations turns into appointments, these appointments turn into sales. But you're continually putting out that content, and you're continually having those conversations every day. And then it cycles through where you're consistently making appointments every week. Once you're making appointments every week, you have a business. Until you're not consistently making appointments, you don't have a business yet. Okay? So that's the key. You got to be making appointments. That's the difference. Okay, so then yeah, okay, once you get into the Facebook machine and the email, then we have the sales funnels. The sales funnels are the same thing as what I'm talking about with the lead magnets. Is you getting a piece of content, and you're going to give them a freebie information. They're going to get your phone number, email, but then when they get that piece of content, like they get their PDF into their email, what happens is the next thing is the video pops up, right? A video pop up, and it'll just be a quick, it could be anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes of you describing your program or where you came from, your story, and they'll be like, hey, I'm happy that you choose to pick my piece of content. This is my story. If this is something that you want help with, click the link below, and it's a link to my calendar, like a Calendly link to book a call. Okay, and you want to be putting those out with those freebie offers, and that's what the funnel is, right? And I'll show you how to do that. So let's get off this page, and we want to go into. Just give me 1 sec, guys. You guys following me so far? That kind of makes sense.
Yes.
Martel?
Yeah, everything you're saying is making sense perfectly.
All right.
Perfectly.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna debrief and go a little bit more detailed. So first thing, like I was saying, like we want to build out who our customer avatar is, who's our ideal customer, right? So these are some of the pain, when I'm talking about pain points and questions, these are some of the questions you guys got to think about. So what is the most transformational, biggest result I can help a business or a person achieve? What's David trying to do for us?
Oh, well, he makes he gets people to, well, I mean, the way he gets them in is by having them have an idea that they can work on getting their relationship back.
Okay, is that the biggest achievement?
No, it's not, but that's how he gets them in. He gets them in with something because he knows it's an urgency, and when you get people through urgency, it usually turns them into a super hot lead.
That's one of his pain points, correct?
Yes, making urgency. Once you can hit someone with urgency, he gets them.
Yes, no, you're 100% right. So in terms of this question, the transformational biggest result is becoming the man that you know you're born to be. That's it.
Yes.
Fair? Okay, so my thing is I want you to build the business so you guys can transform your family's lives, you know, help your community, make a big impact on the world, travel the world, live the life that you want, and not be bogged down by living, you know, in this circle of 9 to 5 BS that we've done, right? So that's
yes.
my biggest thing. Okay, so okay, so other questions that you guys want to, you're gonna get this video anyway, but like if you've already worked with clients, so describe the favorite one that you want more of. For me, it's the one that's committed, right? The one that's willing to do the work. And you know, I'm sure you guys are similar. Now, what's the biggest problem the client has? Okay, so think about those, right? Because this is all triggering content pieces, right? So I can talk to somebody about, you know, have you been working in a 9 to 5 and still struggling to make ends meet? That's a financial pain, right? Are you
Yes.
are you feeling like you're meant for more? You know, I'm tapping into the maybe the emotional or the social aspect. Do you feel like you're surrounded by a bunch of friends that are just doing the same old and feel like they're just existing? Do you want more in your life? Right? Okay, so what has your perfect client tried to fix but failed? So a lot of people, you know, we have these avoidance behaviors, right? And we think that if I do this or if I get this, I'll have that result, right? But we all know that you got to face and feel it, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people, like in the business realm, they think if I accumulate things, if I accumulate money, that it's going to fix my problems, right?
It'll make me happy.
Yeah, which is totally false, right? How many rich people do we know that like are depressed and alone and, you know, suicidal? A lot.
Or lose their relationships because they feel that they can buy their relationships. And
Exactly.
then the person's very unhappy and they try to put them in a box
You hit it
or a
right on
cage.
the head.
Yeah.
Right. So these are the kind of questions you guys got to tap into. Okay. What frustrates your ideal client most about previous attempts to fulfill this craving? So they'll be like, you know what, I keep trying this, I keep doing this. So for me, I just gave you guys the keys, the 9 pieces. So the way that I made that is like people are they throw so much at everybody about making money online, about building a business online, but nobody goes to the bare minimums. Like it's just you go step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you have a business. But you can't skip. right? And
Yeah.
and then people just get overwhelmed. You know how this generation is now. Like we get caught up in that what's the shiny object syndrome, right? Where
They want to go from A to B without going in between. It's just like they want instant gratification.
exactly, right, and they lose focus. They continue on this path, and they're progressing, but they don't see the money coming in yet, right? We've both been there. They don't see the money coming in yet, so they'll drift and like, okay, maybe this ain't the right thing, and I should, maybe I should jump into crypto, or I don't know, get into real estate or forex or something, right? And I'm not
Yeah.
saying those aren't bad decisions for people, but you got to stay focused. The process is you got to go through whatever you have to go through, right? Because at the end of the day, a successful business person to an unsuccessful business person, it's the only difference is that they didn't give up.
Exactly. I was just about to say the same thing.
They didn't
They
give
didn't
up.
stop. They went through the hard times.
Yeah, they went through it. So, what keeps your perfect client awake at night? Bills, stress, overwhelm, not being able to, living my life for the weekend, right? Living my life,
Most of the time, it's dissatisfaction.
yeah, living my life and waiting for the next vacation. That's not a way to live, right?
Yeah. Usually, it's that they get stuck in the idea of just surviving, and it just
And
becomes
these are
depressing.
it's similar, right? It's similar. But I want you guys to tap into key frustrations that you've had. And the thing is, the quickest way to do that is just tap into where you were 6 months ago, a year ago.
It's our story. Our story is how they're going to trust us,
Of
because
course.
they're going to realize we went through it as well, and we became successful on the outside.
And when I'm talking about the top pieces of the funnel, and I'm talking about relationship building and people understanding, that's what you got to talk about. You gotta expose yourself as much as you're comfortable exposing, right? But I started doing my TikTok videos when I was delivering food. You guys seen them? You guys can go back and look.
Yeah.
You know?
I had a question about that, like on the exposure. It's like, I don't mind exposing, but the thing is what I was thinking when I was thinking about that was, what do I expose? Because if I expose too much, then I'm kind of like what you said, where it's like you're all over the place and people can't really get your message. So I really feel like the exposure is also the message as well, where it needs to be defined and clear.
I think to be perfectly honest, it's like in stages. It's like where you're gonna be at in the business. So
Okay.
let's say if you're at the beginning stages, like you're tapping into specific pain points, but you're not getting to a deeper layer of vulnerability, because you're still starting, right? But like I remember when I couldn't make ends meet and I had to move back home. I can do that at the top of the funnel, midway through the funnel, right? Just to get that relationship building. It's really what you're comfortable with, but I would do it in stages. I would say as you get more established, like when we're putting out content, like we want it consistent, right? Another thing is, like, anytime people see your content, they're gonna go to your profile. They're like, okay, who is this person? What are they
They want to see how many
talking?
followers you have. They check everything.
And this is what they're gonna look for. They're gonna look at is your social media optimized? Is this guy legit? Is his message on point? Does he have links of maybe his calendar or free stuff, or is his content like consistent? So when you go through the content, you see my stuff. It's pretty much daily, right? So they know that I'm consistent and this is what I'm in. This is what I do. If you see another person's content, they might have a good piece of content and they go to their profile and let's say they have a piece of content for I don't know what's today, August 4th. And then they keep scrolling. The next piece of content was July 15th. They're gonna go off. They're like, this guy's not even consistent. Because it's not enough, right?
Yeah.
It has to be, I would say, on a daily basis, if not 2-3 times a day. You know,
In the beginning, I think I would feel like once a day in the beginning, and then eventually build it up to where you're doing it 2 to 3 times a day.
well, eventually you're gonna. Now it's easy for me to think about content to put out. Before it was harder, and I'm gonna give you guys an idea of what to do when you're trying to pick up content. What's the time right now? Oh, okay.
It's 10:50 on my side.
We're okay. Let me go to the next piece. Okay, so now we're talking also about opportunity cost, right? So when we're at the point of, let's say, offering up our services and they're getting into pricing, and we're talking about cost, what is the cost of them staying where they're at? What is that costing them? Right?
It's costing their dreams.
Exactly. And so what is that worth? So are you gonna be
Anything.
willing to
There's
commit?
you can't put a price on that.
Are you willing to commit and, trust me and let me guide you and keep you accountable to get you through this and get you to the other side? Or you want to say, I want to save money and then continue living the life like, what is that worth? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, I got resourceful and sold a bunch of stuff.
Yes, of course. Okay, so those are that just gives you an idea of some of the questions you want to be asking. And then, yeah, dream outcome. So the result with a time interval, like I was saying, right? The problems that everybody's going to be facing that they're not aware of. The biggest thing that you have is knowledge and experience. That's what you're getting paid for, right? I know for a fact that a person cannot get to a point of making consistent income in the coaching space without a coach, without a mentor. It just won't happen, period. It's not enough to have the information. They need to have the accountability. They need to have, because it's a constant, like I've talked about this in our core calls, it's a constant state of discomfort.
It becomes overwhelming.
Yeah, I'm constantly learning something new, right?
Yeah.
So again, when I'm talking about successful and unsuccessful people, yes, there's people that didn't give up, but the other part is I just have not learned enough yet.
Right? Well, I wake up every morning. I tell everybody I wake up every morning feeling so awful, and I do my CEs, and then I'm just like, let's get through this day. I'm just refusing to quit.
Yeah,
like I'm not. There's no way. I have no choice. This is it. So
yeah, and it's about how I'm gonna evolve, how am I gonna grow today, what am I gonna learn? Like I'm something new every day. I'm already learning in this moment of what I could do better for my next webinar, right? So we kind of talked about this, pains, fears. Okay, so now the solutions, right? Turning all these problems into the solutions. How can I make the result faster or easier, right? We know that if they don't face and feel, they're just going to take the long route of suffering instead of actually suffering, correct?
Yes.
The problem is that they don't know how to suffer. They're afraid of it. And that's what you guys will probably help them through. I know people are just going to try to search online and guess, and they don't want to spend money on coach. They don't want to get scammed. And I understand there's distrust there, but then what's worth more, time or money? Time. Think about how much time they keep wasting. And if they get a coach, they can probably in 3-4 weeks get more results than the 3, 4, 5 months they did spending doing nothing and turning their wheels, right? Like the answers might all out be there, but the implementation, the accountability, is what's the key, right?
Yeah, and the direction.
Yeah. So we went through that, the messaging. Oh yeah, so when I'm talking about, let's say, the offer, your guys' coaching package, right? You're gonna have different pieces in there. It's not just about the coaching, it's what is the added stuff. So what are the info sheets, the PDFs, the audios, the videos? What can I do to stack it? So like if let's say if I had Joseph's coaching package and I had Martel's coaching package, but Martel's coaching package had all these audios and videos and PDFs and all this stuff to increase that value. This $3,000 package is much more enticing than yours, which is just coaching, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what you guys got to do. We got to think about just going back on your journey. Like, what are all the resources that you can pull out of? What are the meditations that help me? What are the affirmations? I think this is something probably you guys got to talk to David or Joshua about, but like implementing CEs within your coaching. I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if you got to have a certification. So, but that's an idea, right? I don't know. So I can't recommend that. I think that's something that you guys got to look at, but definitely.
Yeah, I was talking to Kai. He said you should teach people the breathing techniques. He told me that. And I was going back through the modulars to really get down the wording and everything like that, because obviously we do them, but to have the background of each one and what they do and just really start to really dissect it.
Yeah.
And then I'll talk to Joe too.
Yeah, and also because like when I was showing you guys the 9-step blueprint, that's kind of like my signature solution, right? That's kind of like the map, the visual that people see, like, okay, that's what I got to do to get the result that I want. So you guys got to come up with that too. Whether it be just a structure of your coaching program, your course, or whatever it may be. How do I get from, like, what does it look like in stage, like week 1? What is that? What is week 1? You know what I mean? What am I establishing? What am I doing? So you guys got to get really clear on that and put it to paper. And when we get more in depth into coaching, like I said, Joseph, like I have group calls. Both you guys can jump on the group calls if you want, and we can get that more visual. But you got to have a visual of it.
Yeah, once you have the visual, it becomes a lot easier.
It becomes tangible for them.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the other
for us too.
Exactly, it makes it much more clear.
Your message is direct.
Now everything encompassed is that all my content is within the 9 steps. It's just a small piece of one of them.
Yeah.
So let's say if I'm talking about Facebook group. Okay, I'm talking. Here's the 3 ways you can optimize your Facebook group. Here's the type of content you can put in your Facebook group. This is the key way to optimize your Facebook group. This is the title you should put in your Facebook group. You know what I mean? Those are 4 or 5 pieces of content right there.
Yeah.
Right? So, but it's all within my 9 steps. It's just one small piece.
You're not giving him the full picture.
That's why you got to have that signature solution. Like
it's like when David brings us in and he teaches us the 4 when we're in Firestart, he only teaches us 1 through 4. And then when we go to our first immersion, we get the other 5 through 12.
There you go. Yeah. What's that? What have you made your program name? What is it? Lifestyle Blueprint?
Yeah, Elite Lifestyle Blueprint.
Elite Lifestyle Blueprint. Okay. So what?
But it wouldn't let me put Elite Lifestyle.
So I challenge you to put that on paper. Like, what does that look like? How am I gonna? What's the result? And how am I gonna get there? What are the steps? Okay.
Yeah, because what I want to do right now is just trying to build up my content, like my face.
But if you do
my
that
Instagram awareness.
But Joseph, if you do that first, your content's gonna be that much more clear.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. And then once I start as I continue to post, I can get more clear on the messaging that I'm putting out there.
Yeah, because right now it's mixed up with nutrition,
food,
and meals.
Yeah, I'm trying to get away from that and just turn it into the coaching.
I think what you're trying to do is take advantage of the fact that you got those 4,000 plus followers, which is awesome.
Yes.
But you got to utilize that. If you're going to make the change, you have to make the change. It can't be one or the other.
Yeah. No, I'm making the change. That's what I want. The food is, like I told you, it's just to get to be able to keep investing in myself and be able to obviously clean up my bills. But
Yeah.
ultimately, I like the coaching is really where my energy goes.
Yeah.
So easy, like it calls me.
And when you're talking about pricing, you know, you guys got to be very like cognizant of the value you guys actually bring. Like when we're talking about, the cost and of you not achieving what you want to achieve, right? In terms of a client, but if you keep decreasing the cost because you're just you're trying to get in the door and trying to get things going, the perceived value decreases, right? If somebody's paying 3,000 versus, let's say, 500, right? The perceived value is like, well, then it's probably not gonna get me the result that I want. Like there's a reason that he's priced it at 3,000, right? So you guys got to think about that. In terms of the actual kind of range and pricing, you want to think it about $150 to $250 an hour range.
Okay.
And in
So
terms
you
of,
work, and then when you were to, if you were to work that into a package though, because a package is not really by the hour, how would you figure that out? How would the math go on that?
yeah, so it is that way. But the thing is, what you're gonna do, so let's say yours is 8 weeks, right? And
Yeah.
it's let's say it's $200 an hour. Okay. So that's what, 1,600?
Oh, okay. So you're breaking it down into the amount of hours that you're actually going to work with the client,
Well,
and then you do add those hours together.
here's the thing, it's 8 weeks, and just that 8 weeks, and if it's $200 an hour, is just 1,600, right? Let's just say,
Uh-huh.
let's just say that in terms of a fair neutral price point, compared to the market. But if you're gonna add, let's say, 24/7 access to you, I'm gonna get you a Voxer that you can reach me on. I'm gonna give you this audio. I'm gonna give you homework every week. I'm gonna give you this matrix. I'm gonna give you this, I don't know, nutritional guide. I'm gonna give you this meditation. I'm gonna give you this homework sheet, homework book that we're gonna work through for the 8 weeks. I'm gonna give you all these video tutorials. Now you can price that 1,600 to probably 2,000, if not more.
Because you've given them more content.
Of course, not even content, value.
That's, I mean, value.
Yeah.
I learned that with Tony Robbins about giving more. He said give them more value.
Yes.
And as you give them more for what they're paying for, it brings them in.
Yeah. And then when I'm talking about bonuses, add things that you've utilized along your journey. Now guarantees, this is a tricky one. I give guarantees to people. What I say is that I'm gonna get you to profitable and making income, and I don't leave until you're profitable. And that's my guarantee, but it's based on the condition that you're doing the work in between. Because it's never about the hour and a half sessions each week. It's about what you're gonna do in between, right? Just
Yeah, if you're not doing the homework, then what's the point? I'm wasting my time. You're
exactly,
wasting your time.
and that's the thing. Like, if I even write it, I everybody that I have every client that I have, there's a written agreement between us. Like, this is the date range, and I'm gonna continue to work with you and until you're profitable. But it's based on the fact that you're doing
Progression.
the recommended strategy that I've provided, right?
Yeah.
If like 2-3 weeks go by and you haven't done anything, then I'm like, you've voided the guarantee. This is based.
Yeah, and it's like David too. David said that
And
before.
guess
I've
what?
heard him say this before.
And guess what? They can't say anything because I videotaped the sessions.
Yeah.
So I have proof. You've already admitted it. on video. So, you know, I've never had to do that. Like, it's never been an issue, but
if it was, you'd have your backup.
yeah. So you guys think about how you want to do that.
That's like our insurance, basically.
Exactly, yeah. So naming, so we call it the magic formula when we're trying to name our kind of coaching program. So the magnetic reason, who's the avatar, what's the goal, what's the time interval, and then some sort of a container word. You don't have to have all of this, but like if you have 3 to 4 of these, that's a good way to come up with a name for it. And so like container words mean something like blueprint or method or strategy,
Yeah,
or formula, right? And,
yeah.
and then have,
Kai gave me that blueprint because the blueprint people love blueprints.
yeah, exactly. They like the, you know, they like following that. But in there also have like whatever the goal is, the result that you're going to provide, who the avatar is, you know, and like the time interval, if you can get that in there too. Yeah, just like here, this is my main message. I help coaches, entrepreneurs, and consultants build a business from scratch in 8 weeks using 9 comprehensive steps and generate consistent 10K plus months without feeling lost, having tech overwhelm, or paying money for ads. Now that's encompassing, but it covers everything in there.
Yeah.
Is that on everything? No, but it is on my Instagram, it's on my Facebook, it's on my LinkedIn. You know, bits and pieces of it will be in my content, right? So it's consistent. Everybody sees it everywhere. And then I was talking about the 5 C's, right? Create content and conversations that convert into clients. I think we kind of went over this. Kind of know me. I want to go to just quickly go to the next one. Oh yeah. Okay. So now a big issue that people also have is when they're creating content is getting content ideas, right? Like, what do I put out? And this is why the foundation and your signature solution is so key. Because if you have that, you'll have ideas for days, and I'll explain. So my 9-step blueprint, if I break it down, each of the 9 steps: outcome, the customer, avatar, the offer, and then I break those into 3 more points, right? So that's 3, content, 3 points, lead magnets, 3 points, Facebook, good, 3 points, email autoresponder, 3 points, sales funnel, 3 points, right? Sales process. And then I cross-reference it with what we call the 5 P's of copywriting. So this is problem, process, ping, which is like curious question, proof, right? So, you know, I've had piece of content where you've made a video, you know, I'm showing proof, or I'll show a piece of content where I have money coming into my PayPal account, and then promotion. So if I'm promoting a new offer or a new workshop or a new webinar or something. So those are the 5 ways you can present the content. And then you already have the subject with my 9 steps. So you guys have your signature solution, whether it's 9 steps or 12. Usually they do it in a ratio of 3. So with those 27 points and those 5 P's, I just got 135 pieces of content, right? So
Yes.
I sit down, if I sit down and break this down over a weekend, I just got 3 months worth of content.
Exactly.
And I
because you have your bullet points through it for everything.
That's it. And I can just, I put it into my calendar, say Wednesday, I'm going to talk about Facebook groups, but I'm going to talk about the process of it. And on Thursday, I'm going to talk about my offer, and I'm going to talk about a promotion, right? And variations can be so many. So like when you guys think about, and like we'll do these together, like when we do eventually do some coaching, but like don't ever get overwhelmed by getting ideas. Like the ideas are endless. Yeah, and then I just break it down like so. The content pieces: outcome, customer, offer, content, email, funnel, and then the problem, process, pain. Like, you get what I mean? If I have 3 of these and I have those 5, that's 135 pieces of content. Easy. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just going to go to what is offer. We went through that. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Okay. So now when we're putting out content, you want to be very specific. So, you know, if it's a video, if it's a written, if it's a question, let me ask you guys, what's like a question that's on the minds of your ideal clients?
I would say the question is, how are you going to get me there? I guess. How are you going to get me to where I want to be?
So, okay, so how do I, let me say, okay, so I'm gonna try to entice or trigger somebody to reach out, right? So if I just put out, let's say, a question post, like, if I can get on my Facebook, I can just show it to you guys. 1 second. I think I gotta show you and then you guys will understand. Facebook. That's not it. Wait, guys, 1 second. Oh, no, I have my Facebook. Oh, I closed it down. Okay, that's fine. I'll explain. 1 second. Okay, so now in terms of triggering conversations, right? The conversations are gonna be what you convert into a sales call, appointment, and then eventual sales calls or clients. Okay, so let's say I put out a piece of content like, who here's going through a divorce? I just put out a question like that.
Oh, I thought you were asking us. I was like,
Yeah, no, let's say I put out a question just to post like that.
Okay, so it's like just trying to get people in that are in that area.
Yes, and they're gonna, what they're gonna do is they're like, oh, that's kind of a weird question. Who is this person? They're gonna go to your profile, they're gonna check your content, and they're like, oh, this guy's a coach, he seems legit. Okay, maybe he's gonna help me with this question. And then they say, yes, me, I'm dealing with it, I don't know what the fuck to do. Boom, you start the conversation. Go, hey, I'm sorry to hear that. How, what's going on? Like, what are you currently dealing with? And they can give that specific as they want, right? But what you want to do is get an idea of where they're at currently, right? So this is a process of everybody that you're gonna try to get into a sales conversation. You want to get a process, you want to get an idea of where they are currently, and then an idea of what their goal is. And then you got to think to yourself and be honest with yourself, is that, can I help this person? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like for me, like I'll put out a comment like, is are you having problems with lead generation? And coaches will come up and say, yes, me. Okay, what are the problem that you're having? I've been getting clients through word of mouth, but it's hard getting online. Okay, are you full-time? Are you part-time? Or is it a side hustle? Yeah, I'm trying to get full-time. Okay, what is your goal? I want to make 10K per month. I want to make 20K per month. I want to make 50K per month. Why do you want that? I want to be able to, go on vacations with my wife and kids. Okay, well, I think I can help you, but it's going to take a little bit more, questioning. And then, so why don't we book a call? Do you think, does that make sense for you? And most likely they're going to say, yes, that makes sense. Like, it's a conversation. Let's see what this person has, right? And then that conversation leads into, I always break down my sales call into two, because then you can build the rapport and the trust over two calls, rather than just one where you're talking about what you can do for them and presenting an offer, and then you're talking about money. It just comes off as salesy. I've always done better when I've broken it down into two. And, like, genuinely, the first piece of the first appointment is just going to be um establishing rapport and asking them certain questions, and then seeing, okay, can I help this person? And then the next one is going to be kind of more of a goal oriented, like, okay, here's my goal, this is where I want to go. I'm like, okay, this is what I can do, and this is what it looks like in terms of the coaching. These are what the sessions look like, and here's the price point. And then you sit back and you're quiet and just let that, tension and anxiety build for them to make a decision. Okay.
Okay.
So let me just give you a scenario, because you're gonna always be sending out friend requests too, right? For, let's say, your perfect avatar or whatnot. So somebody accepts your friend request. Okay, thank you. Thank you for accepting my request. I'm networking with like-minded people. I see that you're a consultant. That's great. Um, so what do you do exactly? How long have you been in the industry? How's your business going so far? Can I ask you some questions to see if I can help you in any way? These are, like, obviously we gotta curtail these to your guys's niche, but these are the kind of inquisitive questions you can ask. You don't have to ask these right away. This process might take 2-3 days, right? But if they're continually answering your question, then they want help, right? And at the end of the day, like, at the end of this, you got to be honest with yourself and say, hey, can I help with this? Can I help this person? Because, like, I think it was 3-4 days ago, a guy asked me about acquisitions. I need business coaching for acquisitions. I'm like, well, you're trying to acquire businesses? And he's like, yeah, I need coaching in that. I'm like, you know what? I'm not the person to help you, but I'll try to find somebody that can help you. Like, you got to be honest, right? Like, I'm not experienced in all aspects of it. Like, people have asked me about crypto, and I'm like, I don't know anything about that. You know what I mean? If you want to be an online coach, I can help you. But so you want to get those conversations going. So another way also is what do we call a survey script? So in a survey script is it's a more of a longer term approach. So let's say you build a relationship with somebody on LinkedIn, Facebook group, and you just make a connection. Hey, I came across your profile, wanted to reach out. I loved your content on this. Like, really do look at their content and like it and share it and comment on it. And then then you just ask them, kind of hearsay questions. Maybe a day or two goes down the road, 2 or 3 days go by, and then approach them again, like, hey, I see that you do this. How long have you been in this space for? And so. You continue now. You're starting to get intel on them. You're starting to get, okay, do they have an issue with this? Are they needing help in this space? And then you'll offer a survey. Say, hey, I'm doing a survey because I'm offering up a new program, or I'm establishing a new coaching package, and I'm needing some feedback from ideal clients. And I thought if you're able to help me with the survey, I can give you a free coaching session, which is worth like, $250 or whatever, right? Most likely, if you have an established relationship, rapport, and trust, they'll say yes. Okay, so now two things. We're gonna get direct intel from our ideal clients. So maybe we are missing something we don't know, right? And then the other part is I'm going to be very specific in this survey, and I'm going to be able to establish all the issues that this guy's dealing with, right? So I'm like, hey, thank you for the survey. I gotten all this information, all this feedback. It's going to help me so much. When can we do the coaching session, and let me help you? And now when I'm going to that coaching session, I have all that information that I did in the survey, right? That they've given me so much intel, right? I did it in the frame of the survey, but at the end of the day, they still gave me that information. Now, when I do the coaching call, I'm going to customize that call based on the information that I got, right? This process might take about a week, maybe 2 weeks, but your conversion rate is going to be that much higher because your package, or the way that you offer it, if it's customized to them, they're going to feel like, wow, this guy really listened to me. Make sense? You guys?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So, yeah, that there's, that quite well. There's more in depth I can get into it, but establishing your avatar, the outcome, messaging the offer, how you're going to put out the content, what it's going to look like, how you're going to tap into it, then putting out the other mechanisms, right? The Facebook group, the email list, the sales funnels, right? There's 3 or 4 ways that you can get appointments: through the DMs, right? Conversations like this, like a survey script or something, right? Off a piece. So they're going to either like your content. Hey, thank you for liking my content. What did you like about it? Right? Or they're going to interact with a question that you put out, or they're going to accept a friend request. Hey, thank you for accepting my friend request. I wanted to just network with people. Nice meeting you. What do you do? It doesn't have to be right away. It could be 2-3 days down the road. If you're patient, there's that's the mechanism. Another one is when if you get into one of your lead magnets, you get their email and their phone number. Hey, I got your I see that you signed up and got my 10 steps on how to raise your consciousness. How did you like it? What did you like about it? Well, I really appreciate that you got that. I'm offering up some free coaching sessions, value of up to $250. Would you like to set up an appointment? I'm available tomorrow afternoon. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
This is the organic methods. There is no shortcut. Like, people, they might have an ads budget and they might spend money on ads. Let them. You know what I mean? My thing is, if I can reach them organically, that's when I know that I can go into ads. I don't jump into ads first when I don't even know if I can tap into my audience organically. Correct?
You're just finding your audience first before you do all that stuff.
Exactly. But that's the gist of it, guys. Like, you put those sales funnels together, you put the content out there, you know what I mean? Then you start having conversations, and that leads to the sales calls, appointments, and clients. That's all I've been doing. But it's very strategic. every day is, you know, a specific amount of content and specific amount of conversations, emails, you know. And the thing is, people see me as an authority. So the more and more content I put out there, and the more and more people see that I'm giving really value. Like, my goal with my content is to give them a win. Like, holy shit, that's something that I never even knew. Like the other day, I did this service script as a piece of my content. I'm giving it to you because it's only one piece. It's not the entire 9 steps, and it's not in the order that I tell you to, and it's not with me coaching you. So what am I worried about giving them that info? I'm not. Right? If they're gonna think, if this is what he's giving me for free, what is he gonna do if I pay him?
Yeah,
Right?
of course, you're bringing a value.
Yeah. So that's the key, guys. Any questions, Martel? Do you have any questions?
No, I'm definitely gonna. First of all, Gert, you were extremely thorough. I wasn't able to be as present as I would like to be, so I'm definitely. You said you're gonna send us a copy of this video, right?
Yeah, I'll send you guys both a video.
Yeah, I got some time off coming up, so I'll go back through it. But yeah, it was definitely very thorough, and everything made sense and added up. All the stuff in my mind that I thought was extremely complicated, you broke it down to just little bite-sized pieces that
Yeah.
made it very, very doable. How much time per day do you spend? I guess my ultimate question: how long did it take you to like put your version of your manifesto together, some type of content that you can give to people, and then how much time per day do you spend on?
Good question. Yeah, so in terms of, you know, what you should be doing on the daily, you know, you want to be putting out 1 to 3 pieces of content on each of your platforms. Now, when you're starting off, I wouldn't go on all the platforms because you're going to spread yourself too thin. So Joseph, I would say Facebook and Instagram will be awesome for you, because Instagram, you already have a good community
Yes.
following, and Facebook, and that's enough. Right? Once you start getting to a certain level and income is coming in, you can get a VA and then get on LinkedIn and then get on TikTok.
And that's a virtual thing that you were talking about, right?
Yeah, exactly. You want to, so don't spread yourself out too thin, but you want to be putting out a piece of content, and you're going to be following up on your content on a daily basis. But if I was to say a timeline on each everything, so putting out content on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and email, and having conversations, like, you're looking at about an hour and a half to 2 hours a day. I would say a minimum of an hour a day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it took me time to get efficient at that, but I can show you guys how to do all that, right? I don't look, I hate writing emails. So I just copy my TikTok video is my Instagram reel, it's my Facebook reel, it's my Facebook post, it's my YouTube, and I take the YouTube link and I put it in my email. Right? I'm like, I don't have time. But they get the value. They just they get it in video form. My email list is 18,000 people.
Wow.
You guys can build it like that too, and there's a technique to do that. But you know, there's also like, there's other sites too. Like, have you guys ever heard of yeah, it's called free PLR downloads. Are you guys, can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so free PLR. PLR means private label rights. So there's no copyrights on all this. Okay, so this is all free content available to you. So what you do is you go down, you find your category. I'm gonna go to articles, right? And then I'm gonna go, let's say, social media. And I'll go search. Boom, I got an article on the power of social media. It's 10 pages long. I'll copy it and I'll paste it and I'll add and I'll cut it down. I just got 4 or 5 emails right there. Right? Like I gotta read through it and I gotta see, okay, this makes sense. It's gonna tap into my audience, and I add a few nuggets and I cut out some stuff, right? Because you don't want to plagiarize, but at the end of the day, this is copyright free. Okay, and if I did this once a week, just this, if I just copy pasted this, I have my emails for the week. Well, how long did that take me? That took me 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
What is that, like a newsletter?
You can do newsletters too. They have newsletters here too. So let's use our what do we want to say? Let's try divorce. Let's try that. There you go. Defeating divorce. Ebook. 38 pages. So, and guess what? I can review this, cut it down and chop it down into either long form content, written content, emails, newsletters, blogs, or I take the written form and I make it a video. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
you break it, then you can use it for content.
The content and the information is all out there. The key to this is at the end of it, have a call to action, right? So like you'll have the blog, you'll have the email, and at the end of it, like, hey, if this is something that you're struggling with, book a 15 call with me. I give you a free consult. Do it at the end of this. So when they get the email, they'll be like, wow, this is a lot of information, and he's offering me a free consult. Or give them one of the free gifts, one of your lead magnets. Like, hey, here's another free video training on I don't know, breathing or nutrition or whatever you want to make it of.
Yeah.
Right? Every piece of content that you have, just have a call to action at the end of it. Whether it's a video, whether it's something written, whether it's just an image, it could be an image. I take pictures of me just sitting in my office doing work. You know? Just to show that, hey, I'm grinding just like you.
Exactly.
Makes it
it's yeah, you're human just like they are.
Yeah. Does that all make sense, you guys?
Yes, it does.
But okay. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I know it's late for both of you guys. You guys are out east, but I appreciate the time. You know, part of me wished that there was more people, but part of me is happy it was just the 3 of us. You know?
Yeah, it was definitely I mean it was valuable.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
And it makes it. I get excited thinking about it because it's really easy to understand.
It's
obviously it's work, but it's easy.
It gives you clarity. It's not easy, but it's simple. You know what I mean?
It's like you chewed it down for us like a mother bird, you know.
Yeah.
And kind of just little bits and pieces, but like it's simple.
Yeah.
Complex but simple.
Mm-hmm. You know, and like there's all the technical stuff with like sales funnels but you know, I do that like for the people. I want them to understand it, right? But like I said, like, you know, with the sales funnels, the content, your phone numbers, your email list, all those are mechanisms to make appointments. You want to be making appointments every week. If you're making appointments every week, you have a business. Period. But if you're not, then you got to get to the point where those are consistently happening. Until then,
Yeah.
you don't have something sustainable, right? Because here's the thing, the cycle will continue because like my money's trickling in now because of work that I did, June and July. The most money that I'll make this year will be in September based on what I did in, May, June, July. Right? But now,
Yeah.
it's going to continue because now I got the sales process and the cycle. I'm getting anywhere from 5 to 10 appointments a week.
Once it starts, it doesn't stop.
Exactly. You just have to continue the process every day. You got to figure out what you're willing to do, what's your capacity, and that will you'll get an idea. It's like, okay, if I put out this much content and I have this many conversations, this is kind of how many appointments it leads to, right? And are you happy with that? Are you able to do more? Or are you able to, like, if you do get clients, can I put that towards a VA and she can put out the content and all I'm doing is doing my sales calls and my coaching calls, right?
Yeah.
Like I had a piece of content where I just said, how do you help people in your as a coach? And I haven't gone back to everybody. You know what I mean?
Because
But
you got some people going.
like, I don't know, it was like 40 comments or something, and I'm like, Jesus, all of those are opportunities for a client or a sales call.
Yeah.
But I can only do so much. So, I know that, I got to get my VA on those. Right? And then when you're looking at a bigger scale, and I'm just starting on this side of it, is like doing events and prize draws and challenges, right? Where you entice them with something towards the end, and then you build a phone and an email list. Like, I got about, between this and the prize draw and my sales funnels, I got about 100 phone numbers that I can call, or just under. And that's what my VA does. She'll put out the content and she'll call those numbers and say, hey, Group's offering you a free consult.
That's cool.
Right? That's the business. That's what you guys would, that's what I guarantee you a variation of what Man on Fire is doing.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I promised myself I'll get to sleep by 11, and I still got to take a shower. So I'm gonna get off of here.
Okay.
Definitely send me the video because I want to.
Yeah.
I got some time off work, sit down and really take some notes and chop it over, think it over a little bit more.
Okay. Thanks, Mark.
Okay.
I'll see you soon, bro.
Thank you, Gert. Thank you. It was really helpful. Really.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Garb.
No problem, guys. You have a good one. I'll touch base.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Joseph. I'll
Nice meeting you,
You
Martel.
guys
with you.
connect. I'll send you his info. Don't worry, Martel. I'll send
Okay.
you his info. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Good night, brothers.
Bye bye.
Good night.